Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Today I want to play around with different mediums to color with, right? So I have watercolor pencils, I have watercolor markers, I have regular color pencils, and alcohol ink, which you guys know is my preferred. But everyone is different, and I wanted to just touch on all of them a little bit to see what you prefer. Okay, so on my watercolor, I am using watercolor paper. It's not the greatest stuff, but it'll work. And I'm really zoomed up, so you're gonna see my hands are horrible. Please forgive it. But yeah, let's get into it. Just give me 1 second to get everything ready. And the brand I'm using for my watercolor pencils is from Arteza, as well as their pens. And for my colored pencils, I'm using my Prismacolor. Or I can use the Arteza also. I don't know. We'll see which one we use. Because, I mean, the color pencils both have some that are more vivid than others. And I don't know. I like to mix and match sometimes. But we'll get into that anyway. Let me get everything ready and I'll be right back. Okay. So we're going to use our Zig water pen, and that's just gonna be to blend the colors out. And I think we're gonna use blue for our bird. I don't know what blue yet. I'm just gonna put some color down here and see which one I like. Maybe a little darker. That's a pretty blue. Okay, I think that's the one we're going to use. And clean it off. So we can also use a yellow, right, to blend stuff in. And I think we're going to do yellow on the bottom, so we're going to just add our blue. And then we could just kind of mix it in on the wings. So I'm going to do the most of the pencil drawing on the bottom, so that's going to be where a darker color is. And maybe around the wing area. And if you want to add more darker tones, we can a little bit. Okay. So we're just going to come in and start bringing in some of that water to lighten this up a little bit. And then we can see if we like it, if we don't. We can bring in a darker tone. So let's do that. I'm gonna goof up here, I warn you right now, because I am very rusty with this stuff. That's okay. All right, so we have that. And then we could bring in some of our yellow down here. And I want the lightest spot around the eye, so I'm not going to put too much color there. And with these pens, the stick pens, you just got to come over to a piece of paper and clean it off. But if you wanted more water, then Just bring in a cup of water and, you know, treat it like you would any other watercolor pencil. Okay. So we have that. Okay. And if we wanted to add some darker color to this little guy, which one can we use that'll match? You just add a little bit of shading. So that's just going to add a little bit of a darker tone there. So we have that. And we could just bring some of that color in to the tail. So you figure that it's getting more light there, so that's why it's lighter. Okay. Not too bad. All right, let's get some green for the leaves. And I think on the leaves we're gonna mix in the tones. So I want them to be a little brighter. So we're gonna come in with mint and spring green. All right, let's see which one is darker, because not everything is. And I'm gonna do my darker on the bottom. So anywhere I think there will be some shading. And I'm not being perfect with this. And I'm gonna blend this in a little bit. I'm gonna leave a little bit of with no color, just so we could drag the color in. And okay, clean that brush. And we can mix those colors together. And let's do the same thing here. Okay, so that's how our leaves will start coming together. And you're going to do the same thing with the branch. And now let's take care of the wings. Okay, I think this is the darkest tone, right? Nope, this is the darkest. So I'm gonna, let's bring in some of the dark. And then this is the color we use, so I'm going to bring in some of this. And then I'll see where I finish, so then I can bring in the yellow. Okay, let's start mixing these guys together. Just gonna, I think I put too much of the dark, but that's okay. We'll just keep bringing it, pushing it out. So I don't think I'm going to put any yellow on the wings. Just move some of that color out. Okay. 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 Let's bring in that color. Let's soften those up. And this is not about making it perfect. This is just showing you the difference in the mediums. I guess we can do this color as a beak. Okay, so that's one. We're going to put that off to dry to see how it looks when it's totally dry. And that's the watercolor pencil with Versafine ink, right? Waterproof ink. All right. Now we're going to bring in the pens. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to start off with the yellow. And these are my Arteza pens. And I'm going to add the darkest. Then I'm going to come in with my lighter color. And as with the other ones, the pencils, I'm going to come in with my Zig pen and just blend everything in. We can add some more of the lighter color, just very lightly, and soften that up. So you can already see that it's a much richer tone, right? Okay. Let's bring in our blues. And this is our darker blue. Oh, that's really dark. Okay. So I'm going to be careful. Where I add it. And I'm going to bring in my lighter blue. And I'm going to start blending that in. So these allow for like a better blending, right? Nicer shades. Rich colors. It's not as dark as it looks on the camera, but I'll just go with it. And if we want to mix that in more, let's bring in our Zig pen. We could bring in a lighter blue we want. Let's see what we have here. So these work more like our alcohol ink pens, right? So you can blend them better. Let's try that one. Yeah, that works. Not perfect. Okay. Let's bring this color in. And you can keep mixing, matching, and blending until you're happy with the outcome. Okay? Let's bring in our dark. Let's bring in our mid-tone. And let's bring in that lighter tone just for the heck of it. And blend all the colors together. Okay. Let's see our leaves. Now you can also wet the paper and then start adding color. You get that'll give you more of the watercolor effect. And I think in this one we'll bring in a lighter green also. Let's get that going. Let's see. There's a lot of colors to choose from. I have like 96 colors. All right, let's do this one. And if you're not happy with the blend, then come in with your watercolor pen and mix that up. Okay, see how it looks better already? All right. And I'm not going to spend all day on it because the video is going to run super long. So I will finish it off and then we can compare them all, right? Let's bring in our color pencil again. Well, I'll leave these to the side because I'm going to need those and I'll be right back. Okay, so when it comes to watercolor pencils, regular color pencils, there's different ways you could do it, right? You can try to just blend them all in together. If you don't mind the little lines that color pencils leave, and then just do that. You can also use a colorless one. So it's just wax that you use just to, you know, kind of blend things together. Which then you come up with something like that. Not bad. Or you can use mineral spirits, which it is toxic. So make sure you're in a well ventilated area and it's not close to your face. Don't breathe this stuff in, guys. To mix all of those colors up. I'm going to use the Gamsol. And I'm going to start off with my darkest blue. And these are the Prismacolor pencils. Again, you're going to take your time. You're going to shade this right. I'm just adding color just to get her done. And then let's add some of the lighter tone. Oh, I broke my tip. Okay. Let me sharpen this. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so with the mineral spirits, some of them have this little foam thing on the top that you can just like dip your brush in. I don't have that, so I'm just gonna dip it right in, my stump right into it. So this is a paper stump, and this is what you would use to mix in those colors. I know a lot of you know this by now, but just in case we have some new peeps. And I'm just gonna bring that color out, and I'm hitting that dark color so I can mix that in and just drag it. Add a little more. So you start getting that effect of that blend, right? I'm gonna let that settle in, then I'll add some more color in. I'm gonna do some of the yellow. That's our darkest tone. And then we're gonna come in with a lighter tone. And I'm gonna sand my stump down on the side that I haven't used. Now normally you can have a couple of different ones there, like one for light and the other one's for the dark. But I just didn't want to go looking for that right now. Alright. And we could come in and mix a light tone, our yellows. So all of those pencil lines just blend away. Okay. Okay. Now we could go in and add some more of our blue. And if you have a stamp positioner, then you can probably go ahead and re-stamp it with the black after you're done, so you can get those crisp lines again. And I think you guys get it, right? It's just mixing things in until all those lines just kind of fade away. And it kind of looks like if you've been coloring with alcohol inks. So if you cannot get alcohol inks right now, color pencils may be your option, because you don't have to go ahead and spend a whole bunch of money. You can get the cheaper brands and just play with them. I've seen people use even the Crayola ones and get amazing results, because I mean, they've mastered how to use these things. That's not me. I'm just giving you what I know. And you mix it in. So all of those lines that you see, the whole goal is to like minimize those lines. So you just drag that color. And if you like that fading into almost, you know, nothing, then leave it like that. So you get a similar look, right? I think they're all pretty in their own way. Okay. Just adding some more dark color there, and since it's behind, I'm gonna darken everything up a little bit. Okay, so you guys get it, right? All right, I'll finish that one off also. And now let's move on to my alcohol inks. Let me get, I don't want to use that one. Let's use this color. And we're going to use our blue turquoise. With the alcohol ink, you're just going to go ahead and add your lightest tone. You'll leave that little spot with no ink. Then we're going to bring in our darkest tone. My markers are starting to dry out. Mid-tone. I'm gonna have to find an alternative because I can't justify that expense. Okay. Gonna go back in. You should have a piece of card under here. Let me put one down. I don't want to mess up my mat. And I'm gonna really go on with my darker colors now. And let's blend that all in. Okay. For me, this is an easier kind of coloring because it's the medium that I use the most. That's the only reason, guys. All right, I'll touch this up now. wings. That up. And let's add our lightest color. Mix that up. Okay. Let's bring in our yellow, and I'm going to use, I guess, my maybe golden yellow blend. A little light yellow. Well, let's bring them both in. Okay. Let's use this as my darkest. And then use our darkest. Now, you know what? I'm gonna keep with this one. And then this time I'm just going to use the two colors. Unless you feel that you need a little bit of darker, then you can just bring that in as well. It's the layers, right? That make everything look special. Okay, so that'll be our yellow, and let's bring in a green. Use our light green. Okay, so I'm gonna finish these up and then we'll come back and take a look at all of them. Be back. Okay, so we're done and we have them all here. I could tell you which my least favorite is. I really need to practice with watercolor pencils. But here we go. You have the alcohol inks. You have the Gamsol with the pencil with Gamsol. You have your watercolor pens. So, I mean, these three give you like really rich colors. I have some other watercolor pencils that I feel the pigments are a bit better, but I wanted to try these today. So, I mean, those are your mediums. Any of these would look great on cards, okay? You would have to play with this one more. I think my mistake was I needed to add more color before I was blending, but that's how you learn. So I hope this helps you test out different types of mediums and see which one you prefer, which one you color better with. I love the look of this one. I love the way the you can mix so many different colors in with the Gamsol. You can do the same thing with the alcohol inks. I just used some like tone, so a different tone. I should have used a darker blue, but it works well. I'm happy with all of them. Um, Again, the one I have to work on is that one. I really botched that one up, but I think the other ones look pretty cool. I would definitely use all of the techniques. Um, anyway, guys, I hope this helps you, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye bye.